nobody can see every single movie ever made. I mean, we may make fun of it in kind of cartoons and TV shows, but the fact is, no one could see every single movie ever made. It's totally impossible. I mean, we only really see the ones we want to, and usually look over the ones we don't. And even the best of us may miss out a couple of classics. So today, while you all know my favourite movies list, I've done 2 videos about them. Today I thought I'd give you a little kind of look in and show you a couple of movies that I have at home on my shelves and yet I've never seen. And I'll give a brief summary. So, I mean, even I've grown to love movies over the past few years. Some movies I grew spectacularly fond of, but I have missed a couple of classics lying on my shelves. Okay, Independence Day. I mean, it had a sequel that came out last year that apparently didn't do very well with fans. I didn't see it because I haven't seen the first one. Mamma Mia. I mean, I know the songs, I've seen the Nostalgia Critics review of it, but I've yet to watch it myself. Inception. I mean, that was supposedly one of these movies that changed cinema. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't actually sat down and watched the entire thing. When Harry Met Sally. I mean, I've heard people from both camps. I've heard people who say this movie is good, and some people who think this movie is overly gooey and mushy. I've yet to form my own opinion. Twilight. I sat down once and tried to watch this. Somebody saw me about to start. I was on the menu screen and they were like, "No!" Saying, I don't need to put myself through that. I mean, maybe one day I will, but tonight's not it. I mean, Silence of the Lambs. I know the classic quote. I greet you with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. But I've yet to rewatch it for myself. I've only really entered the kind of age bracket, so I don't know. I mean, Night at the Museum. Supposedly one of Ben Stiller's classics, but I've seen bits and pieces from the sequels, but I've yet to actually sit down and watch the original. The Hunger Games. I mean, I bought that one for myself because I'd seen most of it kind of through school and college, but I tried watching it, but I haven't actually managed to get all the way through it. Planet of the Apes. Any of the recent movies, I haven't actually seen any of them. I mean, I know of them, and I've got kind of the first 2 DVDs, Planet of the Apes and Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but I've yet to properly sit down and go through them. Casablanca, a classic. A classic that I know of, but I know absolutely nothing about it. Billy Elliot. I mean, I only recently kind of found that one lying in my shelves, and I'm curious about it, but I'm yet to sit down. I mean, The Shawshank Redemption. I mean, I know that story. I've seen it parodied in Family Guy. I mean, I probably know the story of it. I've yet to actually sit down and watch the movie, and it's supposed to be one of these great classics. And finally, the two other ones I have on my list, the Lord of the Rings movies, The Two Towers and Return of the King. I have sat down and watched Fellowship of the Ring through. I know it. I've got it, but I've yet to kind of watch the other 2. I tried watching The Two Towers, but I wasn't able to get right past the opening. I'd get distracted and turn it off. So, yeah, while I have managed to get through one classic this year in the form of Ghostbusters, I still have a lot more classics lying on my shelves. I mean, at some point I'm going to have to watch through The Two Towers, because people have been telling me it's a great movie, but I have a lot of other classics lying on my shelves. It's impossible for everyone to watch every movie ever made, but I do have some classics that maybe I can dip into at some point. And new movies getting made every day, every year. So, it's going to be tough to keep up. I mean, just look through your own shelves. See if you have any classics that are out there. Don't forget, if you find you have any particular classics that you didn't know you had, or you haven't yet tried watching, then leave a comment down below. See how many classics you can pick out. Anyway, see ya.